What is good, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Now, the NBA season is going down to the final couple of days. Sunday's the last day officially of the NBA regular season. Then we're on to the playing games, then the playoffs. Man, I cannot believe it's already up to this point. It just feels like yesterday when the season started. But we are here. We're going to be talking about the MVP race because till now, I have not seen an MVP race this close in a very, very long time. I would struggle to remember the last time I saw an MVP race that was like down to the wire, like last couple of games. Maybe Giannis and Harden back in 2018. But yeah, I mean, this is legitimately a very, very close race in the MVP ladder between a few players. And, you can have a combination of either, four players to me, but I do believe that they are the top four to win this award. Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, in no order, are my top four. I'm going to be talking about and breaking down the cases for each one of those players, and ultimately at the end of the video giving my MVP pick. Now, I understand that since this race is so close, there are going to be a lot of opinions and a lot of people having their own MVP picks. So if you guys disagree, that's completely fine. But I will say I am making cases for every single player. So just because I pick a guy doesn't mean I don't think another guy doesn't deserve it, because in my opinion, I think this race has been the closest in a very long time. So we'll get right into it. The first person we're going to be talking about is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a very, very deserving candidate for this award. Obviously, his team has taken a jump that I don't think anybody saw it coming, for Shai to take the Thunder this far. His MVP case to me is very, very simple. He's averaging 30 a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He's also averaging 2 steals a game. He's leading the NBA in steals. In fact, he is number 1 in 30-point games in the NBA, and he's had the most 30-point games in the NBA since 2019, Harden. And he is the best player on a top 3 seed in the Western Conference. His average age of his team is, I think, very close, or might even be below UConn's average age when they won the national championship just now. That's how young his team is, and he's got them to the 3 seed already. After last year, they were in the play-in, I believe. But after last year, man, people expected them to take a jump, but to be a top 3 seed, he's probably had the biggest jump as far as what people expected to what actually happened. And to be a top 3 seed with the average age of your team being so young, for him to be averaging 30 points a night, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, also doing it on the defensive end, top of the league in steals per game, averaging 2 a game. He is top 3 in isolation points. He's top 3 in transition points. And yeah, he's doing this all on 50% shooting. Like, he is a very, very deserving candidate. That is his case. I think he is probably in my top 3. I don't have him winning this award, but he is in my top 3 for sure. Next, we're going to go to Giannis Antetokounmpo. He is our next, breakdown for this MVP award, because I think a lot of people are sleeping on Giannis for this award, man. I think a lot of people have made it a 3-man race, but I think Giannis is very close to Shai, if not overtaking him. Giannis is averaging 31, 12, and 6 on a 2 seed, and he is top 5 in points per game. He's top 5 in rebounds per game. He's the first player since Wilt Chamberlain to average 30, 10, and 5 on 50% field goal percentage. He's number 1 in transition points. He's number 1 in 40 and 10 games. He's number 1 in 50 and 10 games. And he is the best player on the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. I think just because we're used to these numbers from Giannis, it's not really like a big story, because Giannis's numbers have been so good. And a lot of people have been kind of just turned off on the Bucks, and I agree, because of the Doc Rivers situation and them kind of underachieving and them firing their coach midway through the season, and their defense not being that great on the perimeter. But the one consistent thing for the Bucks all season has been the fact that Giannis has been their best player and has been playing like an MVP candidate throughout the whole year. And obviously you have to take into account the fact that he just got hurt, so prayers up to him with his calf injury, I believe. But I don't think that plays into a part because that was only a couple games, remaining for the season to end. So I genuinely think he's in the conversation. Now, is he winning this award? No, he's not, in my opinion. But I think it would be a crime to leave him out of the discussion just because I want to give him his props, man. You know, for a guy, you know, it's almost been like a routine. Like, people just look at Giannis and be like, oh, he should be doing this. Like, these numbers are absurd. Like, I don't think people understand how absurd these numbers actually are. To average 31, 12, and 6 on 50% shooting is crazy. It's crazy to me. Like, I don't think he gets his just due for that. So I do want to show him some love. He's not going to win this award for me, but he's going to get some love for sure. Now, the last two spots, I believe, are the top two. And this was very tough for me. Very tough for me. If you look at Luka Doncic's case, I mean, what more can you say about Luka, man? I just saw him demolish my Heat the other day. Luka's special. Luka is very, very special. He's just one of one. He is leading the NBA in scoring. He's almost averaging a triple-double, 34, 9, and 10. I don't think anyone's had those numbers in NBA history, 34, 9, and 10 before. Most 30-point triple-doubles, you know, since I believe Russell Westbrook in 2017. He is number one in 40-point games, 35-point games. He's top 3 in points, assists, and 3-pointers made. And he's going crazy, man. 3rd in triple-doubles, 2nd in field goals made, 2nd in three-pointers made, 2nd in assists, 1st in total points, 1st in points per game, 4 times player of the week, 2 times player of the month. Luka Doncic, if you were talking about an award that just goes off of counting stats and, you know, just raw numbers, he is the MVP clear cut to me. Unfortunately, not saying his team is bad, because I think his team is actually really good and they've jumped up a lot. He's actually taken them from where they were in the play-in, and they're currently, I believe, the 5 seed, or they might even be the 4 seed if I'm not mistaken. But they're somewhere in that echelon. Yeah, they're the 5 seed right now. And they have taken a leap from the Gafford trade, from the PJ Washington acquisition. They have taken a leap from being a play-in team to being a legitimate contender in the Western Conference and in the playoffs. That is the only thing against Luka's case, is the fact that his team is, you know, the worst team based on record on this list, based on these 4 candidates. You know, I think the Mavs could potentially beat OKC in a series. I think the Mavs would even beat the Bucks in a series if they were to match up. But I'm talking about, if you're talking about the regular season standings, they have the worst record. So because of that, that takes his MVP case down by a little bit. And that little bit might just be enough for Nikola Jokic to win this award. I mean, what more can you say about Jokic, man? I mean, Jokic, another guy that I saw absolutely give my Heat the work. I'm very familiar about him, obviously, from the finals. But right now, Nikola Jokic, his numbers are not gaudy by any means, but he's still almost averaging a triple-double. 26, 12, and 9 is very, very, very good. He is leading currently the best team in the Western Conference in points, rebounds, assists. He's the only player who's top 5 in points, rebounds, and assists. Coming off a championship, everyone is giving the Nuggets their best shot because they're the current champions. His usage rate is nowhere near the usage rate of Luka Doncic, and he's still putting up these big numbers. And that's not anything against Luka. I'm just saying Jokic doesn't, you know, I don't want to disrespect Luka at all, because I think Luka's having a fabulous season. But to have these numbers on a much, much less usage rate is very impressive to me. And that's what Jokic is doing. He's top 2 in triple-doubles, top 2 in double-doubles. He is first in 15, 15, and 15 games. He is averaging better numbers this year than he did in his MVP season. And his team has the best record in the Western Conference. Best record in the Western Conference. Now, obviously, the only thing going against Jokic is the fact that his counting stats with his points per game isn't like the highest. I mean, 26 is still really good. But if you look at Luka, if you look at Shea, if you look at Giannis, these guys, they have better, points per game averages. But Jokic is averaging 12 rebounds. He's averaging 9 assists. He's leading his team to the best record in the conference. I mean, what more can you ask from a guy like that coming off a championship? And I think it's pretty boring. People think to give Jokic the award because he's won it so many times in the last 3-4 years. But if I'm talking about overall, and I haven't even brought up advanced stats, if I want to bring up advanced stats, Jokic blows out everyone out the water. Advanced stats and Jokic go together like Oreos and milk. It is crazy. Jokic's advanced stats are ridiculous this year. And yeah, I mean, I don't really have to say much besides, the fact that the numbers, the advanced stats, the counting stats, the team success, all of that lean towards Jokic for me. And that's why, in my opinion, I have slightly ahead Jokic over Luka. Now, I don't think it's going to be a crime if Luka wins the award. I think Luka is very, very deserving as Jokic. He's very deserving. But the only thing is the team success and the advanced statistics favor Jokic by far. So the reason for me going Jokic is because of that. I think counting stats, raw numbers, Luka has him. Luka has him for sure on that. But everything besides points per game, I think Jokic takes the cake. And that is why I have Jokic. No knock to Luka, no knock to Shea, no knock to Giannis. Luka's my 2. He's a very close 2. But right now I have Nikola Jokic. And I really think it's between one of those 4. And honestly, hand on heart, I do believe it's between the top 2. I think it's between Luka and Jokic, really, truly, for the award. As far as candidacy, you can throw out the 4 guys that I named. I don't think it goes deeper than those 4. The Jason Tatum hype, that died down, very, very quick. Even though they have the best record in the NBA, it's just, he's just not, on that level as far as MVP type season to me. But yeah, that is my opinion. And make sure y'all let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Again, this is a very close race, man. I don't want anybody to think that I'm disrespecting anybody by not picking them. This is such a close race. You can pick anybody and I won't be mad at you. You can even pick Shea or Giannis. I won't be terribly mad at you at all. I do think it's between Luka and Jokic at the end of the day, and I'm going to go with Jokic. So that is my pick. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Who your MVP pick is for this season, who you guys think is going to win it, who you guys would pick. If you guys were the commissioner, if you guys were Adam Silver, who would you pick? And yeah, we're going to wrap it up here, man. I'll see you later as always. Peace.